morning, Gulf Coast, and anyone else who might be listening in. I just wanted to send out this word of encouragement. I had to laugh as my wife was reading through some Facebook posts earlier and noted one that said that this year is being written by Stephen King. And certainly I think that's how we all feel. And it looks that way if we look at the world around us. But we are told something in the book of Revelation that's very relevant for this moment. And it's in an interesting text, Revelation chapter 5, where we see in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll with writing on both sides and sealed with 7 seals. And John then says, "And I saw a mighty angel proclaiming in a loud voice, 'Who is worthy to break the seals and to open the scroll?' But no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth could open the scroll or even look inside. I wept and wept because no one was found who was worthy to open the scroll or look inside. Then one of the elders said to me, 'Do not weep. See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll and its 7 seals.' Then I looked and saw." So I heard the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. But then I looked and saw a lamb looking as if it had been slain, standing at the center of the throne. Doesn't look at all like a lion who has triumphed. It looks like a lamb who has been slain. And yet it's the same character, standing at the center of the throne, encircled by the 4 living creatures and the elders. The lamb had 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of God sent out into all the earth. He went and took the scroll from the right hand of him who sat on the throne, and when he had taken it, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb. Each of them, each one had a harp, and they were holding golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of God's people. And they sang a new song, saying, "You, this Lamb that was slain, the Lion that had triumphed by becoming a lamb who was slain, you are worthy to take the scroll and open its seals, because you were slain. Because you were slain. And with your blood you purchased for God persons from every tribe and language and people and nation. You've made them to be a kingdom and priests to serve our God, and they will reign on the earth." The people that have been purchased by his blood are made to be a kingdom and priests, and they will reign on the earth. A kingdom and priests to whom? Priests mediate between God and those who don't have God, so to the world. But then chapter 6, we find out what's in this scroll, because then the Lamb begins to open the scroll. And what the scrolls are history that will be unfolding in the future. So as the Lamb opens the scroll, history unfolds. And we're experiencing that history now. It's experienced throughout the church age. But the Lamb is the one opening the scrolls. But note that when the fourth, or when the seals are opened, the first seal, there's a white horse. The rider's given a bow and he's given a crown and rode out to conquer and bent on conquest. And that's either Christ. In some sense, there's ways to make that argument. Others would argue that in context here, it's just simply the imperial powers of the world that go out to take over and create and build their empires. The more I've studied it, the more I lean toward that latter one, though I've often taught the former. And then with each of these, and in particular, I want you to note the third and the fourth. The second horse is one that comes to take peace. The third and the fourth, the black horse, the third horse, is basically economic disruption. And the fourth horse is a pale horse whose rider was named Death and Hades. And they were given power over the fourth of the earth to kill by sword, famine, and plague. We're going to plague right now. And by the wild beasts of the earth, which this came from a wild beast of the earth, so we're told, if it indeed came from bats originally. So here's the thing we need to remember. Stephen King is not writing, thank God, as funny as that is, thank God Stephen King is not writing this year. The Lamb who laid down his life for you is writing this year, and he's made you to be a kingdom and priest, or a kingdom of priests, to bring his compassion to the world. Compassion that is expressed as we don't go where we don't need to go, to protect others, and compassion that is expressed that allows us to bring care, not fearing for our lives. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow morning if you're hearing this on Saturday as we worship the Lord online through our live streaming.